Please don't skip. Watch full story. The day everything broke. They laughed when I tried to speak. So I stopped talking. Not because I was weak, but because I was preparing something they wouldn't be able to ignore. My name is Ethan Cole, and I used to be the kind of guy people talked over, not to. Not because I had nothing to say, but because no one thought it was worth hearing. I worked as a junior analyst at a mid-sized consulting firm. Nothing glamorous, nothing impressive, just spreadsheets, deadlines, and quiet lunches at my desk. I kept my head down, did my work, and stayed out of drama. That worked until it didn't. It started on a Monday. We had a company-wide strategy meeting. Big room, glass walls, senior managers sitting up front like judges. Everyone else packed in rows behind them. I remember gripping my notebook tighter than usual. Not because I was nervous, but because I had an idea. A real one. For weeks, I had been working on a proposal. I saw a gap in our reporting process that could save the company time and money. I double-checked everything, ran numbers again and again, even stayed late to build a simple demo. I wasn't supposed to present, but I thought, maybe this time, I could speak up. When the meeting opened for suggestions, I raised my hand. At first, no one noticed. Then someone nudged the manager, Liam Carter, and he looked at me like I had interrupted something important. "Yeah?" he said, distracted. I stood up slowly. "I think we can improve our reporting system by automating the data consolidation phase," I began. My voice was steady, but my hands weren't. "I've been working on a small prototype that could reduce processing time by..." I didn't even get to finish. Someone laughed. Not a chuckle, not a polite smile. A loud, sharp laugh. It came from Mark Reynolds, one of the senior associates, the kind of guy who always had an audience. "Oh wow," he said, leaning back in his chair. "The quiet guy's got a revolution for us." A few people snickered. I froze. "I'm serious," I said, trying to push through. "If we just..." "Ethan," Liam cut in, sighing like I was wasting oxygen. "We're discussing high-level strategy here. Let's not get into experiments." More laughter. This time louder. Someone in the back actually whispered, "Sit down, man." And just like that, I did. I sat down. I stared at my notebook for the rest of the meeting, while the room buzzed with ideas that weren't half as thought out as mine. I didn't hear anything after that moment. Just echoes of laughter, replaying in my head like a broken track. That wasn't the worst part. The worst part came later. After the meeting, I was in the hallway, packing my bag, when I heard voices behind me. "Mark again. You see his face?" he said, laughing. "Man really thought he cracked the system." Another voice chimed in, "He barely talks. Where did that even come from? Probably Googled it 5 minutes before the meeting." More laughter. I didn't turn around. I just walked away. That night, I didn't sleep. I kept replaying everything. What I said, how I said it, what I should have done differently. But deep down, I knew the truth. It wasn't about what I said. It was about who I was. To them, I was invisible. And when invisible people speak, it feels like noise. By the next morning, something had changed. Not in a dramatic movie-style way. There was no sudden confidence boost, no speech in the mirror, just quiet clarity. I stopped trying to be heard and started planning to be undeniable. For the next few weeks, I said nothing in meetings, nothing in group chats, nothing in brainstorming sessions. People probably thought I had given up. In reality, I was working harder than I ever had before. I refined my idea, expanded it, tested it with real data. Instead of a small prototype, I built a full system. Instead of a suggestion, I created proof. I stayed late almost every night. Sometimes, security would have to remind me to leave. I ate cheap takeout at my desk, rewrote code, fixed errors, and started again. There were moments I wanted to quit. Moments I heard Mark's laugh in my head and thought, maybe he's right. Maybe I'm not that guy. But then I'd look at the numbers, and the numbers didn't lie. The system worked. Better than I expected. It reduced processing time by 40%, cut down manual errors almost entirely, even generated cleaner reports. I knew what I had. The question was, what would I do with it? Because walking back into that room and asking to speak again, that wasn't happening. Not like before. I wasn't going to raise my hand and hope they listened. I was going to make sure they had no choice. 2 weeks later, an announcement came out. The company was launching an internal innovation pitch event. Teams or individuals could present ideas to senior leadership. The best one would get funding and direct implementation. It was optional. Most people didn't take it seriously. But I knew this was it. No interruptions, no dismissive laughs, no one cutting me off mid-sentence. Just a stage, a presentation, and results. I signed up that same day. Didn't tell anyone. Didn't ask for help. I just kept building. The night before the pitch, I sat alone in my apartment, staring at my laptop screen. Slides ready, demo ready, data verified. Everything was in place. But my chest felt tight. Because this wasn't just about the idea anymore. This was about that moment, that laugh, that room full of people who had already decided who I was. And tomorrow, I was walking back into it. I closed my laptop and leaned back in my chair. For the first time in weeks, I let myself feel it fully. The embarrassment, the anger, the doubt. It was all still there. But underneath it, something stronger had grown. Not confidence, something quieter. Resolve. I didn't need them to believe in me. I just needed one chance to show them they were wrong. And tomorrow, I was going to take it. The build-up. The day of the pitch didn't feel real. It felt like I was watching someone else's life. I woke up earlier than usual, even though I barely slept. My alarm hadn't gone off yet, but my eyes opened anyway. My brain was already running through everything. Slides. Demos sequence. I sat up slowly and stared at the wall. This was it. Not in a dramatic life or death way, but in a quiet, personal way. The kind of moment that decides how you see yourself after it's over. I got ready without rushing. Simple shirt, clean shoes, nothing flashy. I didn't want to look different. I wanted to feel grounded. When I reached the office, the energy was different. People were actually excited. Groups huddled together, laughing, going over their pitches. Some had slides open on laptops. Others were rehearsing lines out loud. I kept to myself. No team, no backup, just me, and a system no one believed in. The presentation room was larger than I expected. A proper setup, projector screen, panel of senior executives at the front, rows of chairs filled with employees, including them. I spotted Mark almost immediately, leaning back in his chair like always, relaxed, confident, completely at home. Liam was sitting closer to the front, talking to another manager. Neither of them noticed me. Good. I took a seat near the side and opened my laptop, just to make sure everything worked one last time. It did. Of course it did. I had tested it 100 times. Still, my hands were cold. The event started. One by one, people went up. Some were good, some were not. Ideas about improving office culture, new client strategies, minor process tweaks. A few got polite applause, a few got questions. Nothing groundbreaking. Then Mark went up. Of course he did. Confident walk. Easy smile. He presented something about expanding a service line. It was clean, well-spoken, and safe. The kind of thing that sounds impressive, but doesn't really change anything. The panel liked it. People clapped. He glanced around the room like he already knew he had won. For a second, doubt crept in. What if that's what they wanted? Safe ideas, familiar voices, not someone like me. Then my name was called. Ethan Cole. For a moment, no one reacted. Then a few heads turned. I stood up, walked to the front. Every step felt heavier than it should have. I could feel eyes on me now. Curious, maybe confused. I plugged in my laptop, took a breath, and looked up. "I'm not here to present an idea," I said. My voice didn't shake. That surprised me. "I'm here to show you something that already works." The room got quieter. That wasn't what people expected. I clicked to the first slide. No fancy graphics, just a simple title. Automated Reporting System, Live Demo. "I've spent the last month building a system that automates our data consolidation process," I continued. "Not theoretically, practically." I didn't rush, didn't try to impress them with big words. I just explained, step by step, what the problem was, how it affected time and accuracy, what I built, how it solved it. Then I ran the demo, live, no safety net. The system processed real data, generated a report. Clean, fast, accurate. You could hear it. Not applause, but silence. The kind that means people are actually paying attention. I showed the numbers next. Processing time reduced by 40%, I said. Error rate reduced to near zero. Scalable across multiple teams. No exaggeration, no fluff, just facts. When I finished, I didn't say anything dramatic. No thank you. No forced confidence. I just stood there and waited. One of the executives leaned forward. "Did you build this alone?" "Yes." "How long did it take?" "About 3 weeks." Another one spoke. "Why hasn't this been brought up before?" That question hung in the air. For a second, I considered the easy answer. I wasn't ready. But that wasn't the truth. So I said nothing. And somehow, that silence said enough. Then Liam spoke. For the first time, his voice wasn't dismissive. "Can this be implemented immediately?" "Yes," I said, with minor adjustments. More silence. Then nods. Notes being written. Actual interest. I stepped back from the podium, and that's when it happened. Not applause at first, just a few claps. Then more. Then the whole room. It wasn't loud or dramatic, but it was real. And for the first time in that building, people were listening to me. I glanced at Mark. He wasn't smiling anymore. The one move. After the presentations ended, people didn't leave right away. That was new. Usually everyone rushed out as soon as possible. But this time, there were conversations. Clusters of people talking about ideas. And for the first time, I was part of one. A few colleagues approached me. Not the ones who laughed before. Different people. "How did you build that? Can it work with our team's data? Are you planning to expand it?" Simple questions, but they meant something. Not dismissing. Then came the part I didn't expect. Mark walked over. Not casually, not confidently. Just walked over. He stopped a few feet away from me. For a moment, he didn't say anything. Then, "Hey," he said. I looked at him. Same guy, same face, but something had shifted. "Didn't know you were working on that." "Yeah." Another pause. Then he gave a small, awkward smile. That was solid. Not an apology, but not the same tone as before either. I didn't need more than that. "I appreciate it," I said, and that was it. No confrontation, no calling him out. Because the truth is, I didn't need to. Later that day, the results were announced. My project got approved. Full implementation. Direct support from senior leadership. I remember reading the email twice, just to be sure. It felt quiet. Not explosive, not overwhelming. Just right. Over the next few weeks, everything changed. Not overnight, but steadily. People started including me in discussions, not out of politeness, but because they wanted input. My system got rolled out across teams. The numbers held up. Actually, they improved, and every time someone used it, it spoke for me. The biggest change wasn't external though. It was internal. I stopped measuring myself through other people's reactions, stopped waiting for permission to speak. Because I realized something simple. The problem was never that I didn't have a voice. The problem was, I was using it in rooms that had already decided not to hear me. That day in the meeting, when they laughed, that wasn't the end of anything. It was the moment I understood the rules. Not everyone deserves early access to your ideas. Not everyone will take you seriously at first, and that's fine. Built on proof lasts longer than attention given out of politeness. The one move that silenced them, it wasn't revenge. It wasn't a speech. It wasn't calling anyone out. It was simple. I showed results they couldn't ignore. And the funny part, after everything, no one remembered the laugh. But everyone remembered the system. If you're reading this and you've ever been dismissed, talked over, or laughed at, here's the truth. You don't need to get louder. You don't need to prove them wrong with words. You just need to build something so clear that even silence starts working in your favor. Because in the end, the strongest response isn't reacting, it's delivering. And walking away knowing you never needed their approval to begin with.